everybody, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for Monday the 12th of November going through until Sunday the 18th of November 2018. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to give you a breakdown of what's happening this week on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to go through each day of the week and see what the planets are doing in the sky, how that interaction creates energy, and how that affects us here on planet Earth. As above, so below. So this is a weekly horoscope for all signs of the zodiac, and I also use UK time, so if you're in a different time zone, just take that into account, but don't get too hung up on the timings. These are kind of organic changes, okay? So starting with Monday, the 12th of November, we have the moon in Capricorn. So the moon is the most sensitive part of who you are. And in Capricorn, it's very much, if I want something, I have to work for it. You know, I don't get anything for free in life. I have to achieve. I have to set a goal and have to work hard to get to that goal. It squares Venus in Libra. Venus is the planet of love and beauty. And that's in Libra, the sign it rules, but it's retrograding right now. So that's not so great, because Venus in Libra in retrograde kind of twists relationships a little bit. So you're working towards something that's a little bit off. And the moon in Capricorn also conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth and changes, and the phoenix rising from the ashes. So it's about doing something totally new in a practical way that could come to life today, or you may have the desire or the urge to do that. The moon also sextiles Neptune, the water planet of dreams and intuition, and King Triton. That's in Pisces, so it's in a water sign and the sign it rules, so that's very happy. And the moon also sextiles the sun, so identity, in Scorpio, which is very focused on emotions at the moment and letting your emotions be your rudder, your navigation system, your guidance system. So on Monday, you may find yourself working on something that you don't want to be doing, or the way you're trying to create something, the way you see it in your mind's eye, it doesn't come off right in actuality. You know, like if you're drawing a picture and you see this beautiful thing in your mind, and when you actually come to paint it, it's like an anticlimax, because you haven't been able to capture that amazing idea that you had in your mind. So you have it within you today to dig a bit deeper with all this Scorpio and Neptune and the sun, to make sure you get things right. Double check everything, listen to your feelings, be constructive though, and make sure that you don't miss any kind of errors, like small little errors, you know, and that can be in anything. If you're, oh, by the way, and also if you're retired, this applies to whatever you're working on currently. So if you're painting in retirement, you may be able to dig deeper and get to that next level of insight in your work, and you may be able to capture that. So it's a day to progress anyway. On Tuesday, the 13th of November, we have the moon going into Aquarius at 3:46 in the afternoon. The moon in Aquarius is very humanitarian and very communicative. It thinks, how can I be of service? How can I help humanity? It's also very interested in technology and the latest gadgets and the future and the world as a whole, and how things can be made better for people on planet Earth, humanity and the world. The moon sextiles Jupiter in Sagittarius. So Aquarius and Sagittarius, they're kind of similar. They approach things from different ways though. So the moon is in Aquarius, so you just want to help people and you want to communicate that. Sagittarius is more about exploring its own ideas and information and then wants to teach that to others. So same difference really, just different approaches. So on Tuesday you experience a sudden rush of good luck. An opportunity will arise that allows you to progress in whatever area of your life you're trying to make progress in, that you're focused on, especially if it involves other people and making relationships more clearly defined. So that's where the luck factor is on Tuesday. On Wednesday, the 14th of November, we've got the Aquarius moon still influencing you in the sense that you want to do something for other people, you want to be of service, you want to help, you want to teach, and it sextiles Mercury in Sagittarius. So yesterday we had Jupiter in Sagittarius, the good luck planet. Now we have Mercury in Sagittarius, the communication planet. And Mercury goes retrograde later on in the week. So this is your last day to use Mercury for your benefit if you're trying to write something, if you're finishing a manuscript or a screenplay that you want to hand in, or these are the final days before Mercury slows down, stops, and then retrograde. So, and it's in Sagittarius, so it's very future oriented. It looks ahead and it's not detail oriented. It's 5 days in the future. It's not like, did I get that comma right? So on Wednesday, really, with Mercury and the moon making this combination, Mercury also being the way you think, you're kind of off with the fairies today. Thinking about how you can use your communicative skills to teach. It's a great day for writers, teachers, lecturers, speech therapists, linguists, comedians, and anyone else who relies on communication for work. You really come into your own here today. So it's a changeable week, as you can see. So there's a lot of stuff happening. We've got a lot of fire. We've got a lot of air. And those are very masculine elements. Both air and fire are masculine, earth and water are feminine. And astrology relies on symbols, and masculine is about moving forward, progressing, being independent, building and destroying, and femininity represents nurturing, caring, the arts, healing, all of those kind of things. So the first couple of days here are very masculine in nature, and it's really about, okay, well, I've got an idea now, prove it. Prove what you're going to do with it. You want to start a business selling helium balloons? Well, do it. Let's see. It's kind of harsh. It's like, I remember I said to a friend many years ago, it's like, oh my God, I'm getting a real belly. I'm so worried about it. She was like, well, eat less. Yeah, that's how it is. It's like as simple as that, and that's really cut and dry the first couple of days of this week. Now on Thursday, the 15th of November, we've got the first quarter moon at 2:55 in the afternoon. Now the first quarter moon is like the last quarter moon. It's the moon on its way, halfway from being a new moon, so totally black, to it's waxing, it's building up, it's becoming brighter, and it's now exactly halfway to becoming a full moon. So the energy is building, so the pace picks up. Mars enters Pisces, and Mars does not rule Pisces. Mars does not enjoy Pisces. Mars is not suited for Pisces. Pisces is the last house of the zodiac in the traditional astrology. And Mars rules Aries, the first house of the zodiac. So Mars feels totally out of place. It is forced to use its masculine, driven, kind of creative, productive energy to pursue more spiritual things, spiritual pursuits, to become more open to those. And it sextiles Uranus in Aries. So Uranus is chaos and creativity and electricity and being really eccentric and having your own ideas, and it's in Aries, it's retrograded, hasn't it? So It's about being really involved with your own ideas and creating something new. I really think, there isn't enough new stuff coming out. Where are all the artists? Where are all the new screenplays that are supposed to be written? Where's today's generation of Long Day's Journey into Night? Where's the Freddie Mercury of this time? Where are all these people that are supposed to be geniuses right now? I don't know so there are times now astrologically here on Thursday creating and running those kind of ideas through you. And if you have talent, and if you are someone who's interested in that kind of life and world, and if you do have a message to convey, then Thursday the 15th of November may help you break through. The Aquarius moon squares the sun in Scorpio. So the Aquarius moon, helpful, thoughtful, squares the sun in Scorpio, so you connect with your feelings. So both masculine, feminine are now combined. And it trines Venus in Libra. So Venus in Libra, skewed vision of love. Thursday, the 15th of November, the energy is building with the first quarter moon. Mars is in Pisces, so that really it forces you to take on the spiritual, in a sense. You may dream things, you may start to get messages, without even trying or without thinking about it. It's this time of year, it's the placements of the planets, and whether you identify yourself as an intuitive or not, you'll get messages coming through. So there's a great deal of progress to be made spiritually, so rather than fighting it, accept it and go with the flow, and you'll make a lot of progress. There's friction between the desires of wanting to communicate and to teach for the sake of others between that and your feelings, which may get in the way and which may say, okay, other people are one thing and very good, but what about me? Or some sort of relationship drama can throw you off your real purpose. So watch out for that, because use the energy of Mars and Pisces to connect with higher realms and the higher power and your higher self and your higher power of your understanding and all of that, rather than taking the frustration of Mars and Pisces out on relationships and creating drama and picking a fight with someone. So on Thursday, there is the potential for you to pick a fight with someone just to get this sense of frustration out. Friday, the 16th of November, Venus goes direct. Hallelujah. Venus has been in retrograde since, I think, the beginning of October, and now it ends on the 16th of November. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, creativity, soulmates. It rules that domain. And when Venus is in retrograde, it's not a good idea to start a relationship, because it's likely to promise things that it can't deliver. And it's also not the ideal time to get married or to start a new business. So, the thing is, with these planets, Mercury retrograde, it doesn't mean I'm not going to fly anywhere or write anything. These are guidelines that you ought to be aware of, so you can work with them and make the best out of them. In no way does this mean you should stop living your life in any way, okay? But when Venus goes direct, there's a much greater potential now to actually meet people and to meet partners who are genuine soulmates and who you will communicate with. So hooray! Pop the champagne, celebration, that's wonderful. On the flip side, and on the same day, Mercury goes retrograde until the 6th of December. Mercury is the communication planet, the way you think, and it's in Sagittarius. So that'll help you in one sense, because it'll pull you back. And Sagittarius is all about being 5 miles down the road down there. So it'll pull you back a little bit, and it will actually help you to focus on details more. So I don't think this Mercury retrograde is particularly problematic. What usually happens during Mercury retrograde is that just basic communications become more difficult and stifled and a problem. So computers going down and microphones suddenly not working, or the Wi-Fi just not working for no reason whatsoever, or the lift not going, things like that. So these are all personal planets, and one going direct and one going retrograde. You'll feel like this is a lot. There's a lot going on this week. The Pisces moon conjuncts Mars in Pisces, so you feel incredibly connected spiritually. The moon squares Jupiter in Sagittarius, and it squares Mercury in Sagittarius. So the spiritual causes friction with kind of moving forward and thinking of the future. It's like, I'd rather think of the here and now. So Friday the 16th is a big day with these two personal planets changing direction. You may feel a bit seasick even, or wobbly. Seriously, because they are your personal planets and they have the greatest impact on you on a day-to-day basis. So you're like, whoa, what's happening? The good news is that Venus obviously makes this a wonderful time again now with new businesses and relationships. But travel may be disrupted, and as always, you know, it's the little things, like I said. But it's also a great opportunity to find different ways of communicating. So if you've always made videos, then try writing. Or if you've always written, then try a podcast. Or if you've always drawn, try painting. Try something else to get your point across. Saturday the 17th of November, the moon is in Pisces. It conjuncts Neptune in Pisces, so your imagination is hugely inspired here on Saturday. The moon sextiles Pluto in Capricorn, so this huge imagination can have a knock-on effect to your practical and financial circumstances. And the moon also squares Mercury in Sagittarius, which is now in retrograde. So on Saturday you may experience inspiration in your sleep, or you may get the message during the day. You just get a feeling, or you just know something, that if you put into practice what you've been dreaming of and what you've been considering, that can have a really transformative effect on your daily routine, your working life in the future. But it may be best to write this idea down and to begin implementing these changes and making these changes when the Mercury retrograde is over. That would be ideally, you know, if you have a choice, if you're willing to, or if you're able to make make your own schedule. You know, if you're 9 to 5 and you're an employee, you don't have a choice. If you're self-employed, you can choose when and what you're doing things. But the other thing that I'm getting, as I was saying that, actually I feel, because this Mercury is in Sagittarius and it's in retrograde, I think that having a transformative effect and doing things differently, I just said that was one of the benefits of Mercury retrograde, that you find new ways of doing things. So I would even go so far as to say, don't hesitate to make these changes in your working life. Do it now, because Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius actually helps you with the paperwork and the details, and it helps you fill all of that out and make sure all the things are correct and good. So that's actually very positive. Finally, on Sunday the 18th of November, we have the moon going into Aries at 3:57 in the afternoon. So the moon in Aries is now in the first sign of the zodiac, and it's like, let's go. And we're in fire now, we're back in male mode. The Aries moon trines Jupiter in Sagittarius. We've had very few trines this week, very few kind of harmonious things. There's a lot of friction going on this week. So the Aries moon trines the good luck planet Jupiter in Sagittarius, and it squares Saturn, the planet of structure and security, in Capricorn. So with the moon going into Aries, of course, you're going to feel much more independent and empowered and radiant and bubbling over with energy and ideas, more so than you have felt any time this week. Okay, so on Sunday, this is like the beginning of the new week. You really feel like, okay, that's done now. I've done well this week. I've succeeded. It's over, and I'm effervescent with joy and enthusiasm and excitement for the next week, and I'm gonna go for it. So reading between the lines here, it looks like you have a really great week. Otherwise you wouldn't be so encouraged on Sunday, you'd be discouraged. So you feel much more empowered. That enables you to take action. Opportunities for real change do appear, and these can increase your chances for success in your financial and working life. So again, despite the Mercury retrograde, I really think this is now Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the time for entrepreneurs. When Venus goes direct on Friday, it's time to start your own businesses, to start doing things and make progress in that area. And also relationships. Put that back on the table and see what can happen. So it looks like an amazing week. Lots and lots going on. If you would like a private reading with me where I look at your birth chart, which I draw up by using your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, I can use sunrise, or I can rectify your chart, which is a process where I work out your time of birth. So if you're interested in that, email me about that, please, via the website or at readings@gregoryscott.co.uk. Once I have the astrology chart drawn up, I can tell you what your vocational aptitudes are, what your life purpose is, where you've been in past lifetimes, what you're good at, or what's destined for you in money and self-development, spiritual progress, friendships, career, traveling and moving, family, health, romance, love, all of those kind of things. So head to gregoryscott.com, click on the readings tab to order your reading. If you like my videos, and if you like this video, then please share it and please hit the subscribe button. I also do live readings once in a while, so click on the bell if you want to be notified when I come on live. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you soon.